So as I move the Model 4 project forward, I've got a couple of things I want to do. We'll do a couple unboxings here. First one is this tube that arrived in the mail a couple days ago. Let's see if we can get it open and extract the contents. We have a nice rail of parts. They're Samsung KM4164B-150. They're 64K by 1 DRAMs. There's 23 of them here. They are pulls. The Model 1 or the Model 4 here requires 128-bit refresh DRAMs, or 128 count, or 128 refresh. There's a lot of ways to say it. So your more typical DRAMs that are 256K refresh count, whatever you want to call it, won't work because they don't get refreshed properly. Model 4 can of course be expanded to 128K of RAM. That's available in CPM. Sometimes it can be used as a RAM disk. Those kinds of things. Like I say, the research I did indicated that, got hung up with the microphone cable, that these parts would work in the machine. I hope they will. These were very inexpensive because they're pulls. See if I can get the pin to eject here. Hopefully. Sorry, of course you can't see me futzing around here off camera. And of course drop the pin down into the keyboard, which is just perfect. So anyhow, we're going to do a little project here to add the additional DRAMs. Don't know if you can read that. There it is. It's upside down apparently. So it's just, it's a Samsung KM4164B-15 or 150 nanosecond DRAM. The plan for this is I've got a bank of 64K in it that are operational. I will remove the bank that I know is operational, and I will swap these into that lower 64K bank. Make sure that a set of 8 is good, and I'll probably work through them all and just make sure that they're all good, and then I can trust that when those end up in the upper bank, things will work. So we'll get started on this project soon. So I've got my Model 4 here spun around, and I'm going to look at adding the second bank of 64K DRAMs. I'm going to do this by pulling out the existing 64K that are known good and then swapping in a bank from the parts I received earlier. I've got my anti-static foam here to pop the parts into. I've got a couple different chip pullers out, and this one wedges it out. They both work reasonably well. So I'm going to dive in and see if I can get these existing chips out. Without bending the pins up too bad. These are of course official Tandy marked devices. You need to be careful with this style of puller that you get up under the chip and not up underneath the socket. This one's of course going to walk out crooked. Shuffle the light around a little bit. Sorry for the glare. The lighting down here where the machine is isn't all that great. Up in my lab I've got really nice LED lighting. Down here, not so much. one's wanting to come out crooked. Sometimes they come out very nice like that one did, and sometimes they're a pain. The chips I bought are pulls. I got them on eBay, a tube of 23 for about $20, including shipping. They're, I believe, Samsung parts. They're the 128-bit refresh. You see it kind of written all kinds of ways. 128 millisecond, 128 bit. The Z80 generates a 7-bit refresh count, thus the 128-bit. A lot of 64K DRAMs require 8-bit refresh or a 256 count. So you kind of have to be careful which ones you order. I'm assuming what I found on the data sheet is accurate. Let me grab the rail of parts. One, two, three, four. And there's 8 from the rail. And now it's a matter of getting them in without bending pins. I should probably go find my chip insertion tool. It's a little dark in here for both the camera and for me. I'm going to go look for my insertion tool. I'll be back. So I've got my chip insertion tool here. Chip goes in this end. It's got a little plunger that you push to actually seat the chip. It works well for a couple of reasons. First off is it bends the leads to the proper width for the socket. Of course, and I got that one in the correct orientation. Actually makes putting them in pretty simple. It's still quite possible to bend pins and cause other problems, and of course with the chip in the tool you can't really see where pin 1 is. So you have to kind of stay cognizant of chip orientation. Am I going to get you to line up? You're going to make a liar out of me? It's going to be stubborn. Sometimes these are really easy, and sometimes, like as you're seeing right now, they are stubborn. I don't know why that one's giving me so much trouble. There it is. And I do believe I got it in upside down. Oh no, I don't. The notch is up. And not convinced that's in right. I think it's off by a pin. Which would of course keep the computer from working. So we'll try it again. Better light here would certainly help. Not having the machine rocking around would help as well. Can't tell if it's that heavy wire causing me alignment issues. I don't like the way that sounds. I think that may have been the pin. Nope, it was good. Well, at the moment, I'm not sure if the insertion tool is helping or hurting. Wow, you are really stubborn. There it is. Nope. Now it's a pin too high. Golly. There it is. And pin 1's in the right orientation. Wow, you are really being stubborn. Problem is these heavy wires are getting in the way. Oh, and I got it to pin off. I might have been better off doing this by hand. And pin 1 notches up again. I'm assuming those brown wires are grounds, as heavy as they are. I don't know that. I haven't spent a lot of time inside of them. Model 4. To really know my way around. One doesn't seem to be socketed as well as I'd like. Well, assuming this bank works, I will then reinsert the original 8 I took out into the upper bank. I'll go back and read the notes I found on setting the jumper. And then look for a diagnostic package that can test the upper bank. And I'm off by a pin. This is easier with better light. So the pin 1 divots are all in that upper left hand corner, which is pin 1, and the markings on the devices are all the same orientation. Well, I'll flip the machine around and we'll power it up and see what we get. So I've gone ahead and hooked the monitor up. The green grounding strap is there and it's plugged in. I'll get over here where you can see the CRT. We'll apply power. Well, the floppy's being accessed. That's a really good sign. There's the monitor. Sweet. Let me do a reset to basic. There it is. And print mem, and I'm sure it's going to be, yep. So we've got 64K in the machine. Those chips look to be happy and healthy. So nice. We've the used chips, the poles I bought, seem to be working. Of course, it'll take a bit of time to see if there's any reliability issues, but so far this looks good. Well, with the lower 64K installed successfully, I'm going to move the original pulls up to the upper sockets. Assuming I can get it to go into the socket. That's not feeling right. We'll try it again. It's sure being stubborn. There it is. The lack of light in here really makes this difficult. You can hear my neighbors outside potentially. It's warm enough here at the moment. I've got the back door open just to get some ventilation. And this one's going to be a little stubborn. Again, pin one notch is all there, and the Tandy logo is all across the bottom. So that's the second bank of chips in. I need to go over and look at the notes because there's a jumper, I believe, that needs to be moved or removed or something. So I'll go look at the notes and see if I can figure that out next. So here's the instructions I found. Installed the chips. Now look at the bottom of the third. Look at the bottom of the top third of the board, so up here someplace. Approximately equal distance from either side is a capacitor labeled C39, C63, C53, C39, right there. Your motherboard will either have a small wire, usually blue, or 3 pins. There's a third pin there. 3 pins, of which the top 2 will be hidden by the black jumper. Pull it out and move it so the bottom 2 pins. So this jumper right here, if I can get it to come off, that has been on there for a while. Wow. It's going to require a little motivation to get that to come off. Get up under the jumper. There it goes. That jumper has been on there for a long time. Of course, 30-something years. So move it down to the bottom 2 set pins. So C39. Or 3 pins, of which the top 2 were hidden. pull it out and put it on so the bottom 2 pins are hidden. That is to say, away from C39. On the motherboard, which has the small blue wire, we don't have that. Well, according to this completes the Model 4 64K upgrade, or 128K upgrade. We've got the devices in place. The jumper's been moved. I think we're good to go. So I'll spin this guy around, get some power on it, see if I can find a copy of the mem test. And we'll see what happens. It's got the monitor hooked back up. Case is obviously back on, and I thought I'd just power it up and make sure we still run with 64K, and this is a good sign. So we know that bottom 64K is good. Basic can't see the 128K. It's used extended programs like CPM. I'll use it as a RAM drive, etc. So I said a minute ago I need to go find a memory test utility and give that a shot.